We've created a user. The one thing that we didn't actually do was set a password for it. In this lesson, we're going to talk about modifying users, and the first place I want to start is actually modifying the password. If we look at the shadow file, we should see that there is no password for the user that we created. You can see the 2 asterisks here indicating there's not a password. I'm going to set a password, and we're going to use the password command. If I were to just leave this alone, it says I'm changing the password for user root. That's the user that I'm logged in as. I don't want to change my password. I want to change the password of the user me. So I'm going to specify me as the parameter to password. Now you can see it says changing password for user me. Now I can type the password and it asks me to retype it. The reason for that is it wants to make sure that you've typed it correctly. If you fat finger or whatever, gives you an opportunity to verify that you're typing what you actually think that you're typing. Of course, if you fat finger twice and don't realize it, then you got a problem. You can always change somebody else's password, though, from the root user, just as we saw right here. When we want to actually make other changes, then we would use the user mod command. You can see we've got a number of different things we can do. The one thing that we didn't do before was create a comment or a real username or a real person's name. And I'm going to add this comment, this is me, to my user me. Now if I take a look at the password file, you can see where my name is in the user above. It says this is me because, of course, that's the comment that we added right there. We said -C and then in quotes. The reason I put it in quotes is because of the spaces. If I didn't put it in quotes, the shell would actually interpret those spaces as, okay, you've used this as your comment, and then the next thing that you want to do is use is as another parameter. Of course, usermod doesn't support is as a parameter. It would use that as the username. We don't have a username is, so we put it into quotes. It leaves the spaces as they are, just as you can see here in the password file. There are, of course, a number of things we could do. We could change the directory. We could change the shell that we use. You could actually set a password using this command, and we could change groups or add groups and so on and so forth. There's a lot of parameters we can change using usermod, so don't worry too much if you've done your user add and you've gotten a couple of things wrong or you didn't add some features that you wanted to for the particular user. You can always go back in and use usermod with the username and make the changes that you want to change. You can also, as you see, do move home. It will move the contents of the home directory to the new location. If we do -M and then do -D/home/foo, for example, if we did usermod. That would move all of the contents of the existing directory to the new directory name. This is usermod, and it's how we would make changes to existing users. Of course, you have to create the user first. You would use user add to do that. And then once you've got a user, you want to make changes to it, you use usermod.